Motorcycle Adventure Dirtbike TV is proudly supported by Adventure Spec in England, Rally Raid Products, Giant Loop in the United States and Adventure Moto in Australia.
Right, Dave, look, we're here today to talk about Denali Lights. You yourself have experienced what good quality spotlights can do on a ride, especially on long days. And it's about visibility, being seen and seeing where you're going. In Australia, wide open countries, kangaroos, all sorts of things on the road, and really it's important to have that great quality lighting. So up until now, people have had the choice of installing halogen spotties, HID, which is high intensity discharge spotties, and LEDs. The LEDs are light emitting diodes. They don't wear out. Pretty much you'll get anywhere between 15 and 50,000 hours with each light, as opposed to a HID, which might give you 1 to 2,000 hours, or a halogen, which might wear out in 100 hours. If I'm going to be riding on a bike and I want to know my lights are working all the time, I'm going to pick LED. The other thing about LED lights, or the Denali brand, are waterproof. That you can drop your bike in the water for 15 metres and the lights will still be working. Your bike might not, but your lights will. So again, if I'm going to be riding with lights in all sorts of weather and conditions, I want a light that's going to be robust. It's not going to run hot. It's going to last the time, and it's not going to run out on me when it gets wet. Now, the light range we've got here today, there's 5 lights, and we're going to start with the little DM over here, which is a micro spotty. A lot of guys will run these as a dirt bike light because they're small, they draw less than 5 watts. So they give you a light output of about 2 times your normal headlight globe, and they're great running lights. They're really good, they're bright, they're small, you'll be seen with these lights. So a lot of guys will also run them as running lights on their bikes rather than spotlights. Over here I've got the D2s. I run these on my Tenere XT660 because they're nice and compact, but they will shine about 2 to 3 times my normal headlight. They're a dual intensity. Now let me just turn this on for a sec, and you'll see that's at low beam and then that's at high beam. So this little light and this big light here you can run in with your high-low beam on your bike. I like the D2s because they're compact, but they're a 10-degree optical, so they'll give you as much length as you can, but they're only going to be running about 400 feet, or about 120 meters or so. Then let's duck across to the D4. Now the D4 is a hybrid light, so it's a floodlight and a spotlight. I'm going to be running these on my R1200 GS. I'll run them off the crash bars using a universal light mount. I love these lights. They run at 550 feet. They draw 20 watts. They actually draw more than all the other lights, but they give me a great combination of distance and width. So if I'm on the 1200 and I'm traveling fast, I want the length of light so I'm not going to outrun it, but I also want to see what's coming in from the sides in case I get some of those kamikaze kangaroos trying to knock me off my bike, and I've had a few of those. So the D4s, they will run out to about 3 to 4 times your normal headlight, and which is about 550 feet, around 170 meters or so. So let me just touch briefly on the DX and the DR1. Mainly, they're both floodlights. They're both 10-degree opticals. They're long range, so 695 feet, which is 4 to 5 times your normal headlight range. They're a recessed reflector, so they give a great optical throw of light. Now the difference between the two of them is the DX, the extreme, is a dual intensity. Again, if we run the light on low beam and on high beam, you can get an idea of how bright it actually is. Whereas the DR1, it's just on or off. You'd probably run these on your big guys like the 1200 Beamer or your Tenere, because they've got some fiddly switching and you won't actually always get the dual density intensity with them. So it's easy just to run these on or off. Whereas this guy here, on a lot of bikes, your V-Stroms and stuff, your KTMs, you can actually run it as a high-low light switched in with your normal headlight on-off switch. Behind me on the computer, let me just run through some of the facts and figures of the Denali range. But first, let's have a look at this image here. On the left here, we've got a low beam only light from a typical motorcycle, and over on the right, this is the D2 here. So running a pair of D2s, that's the vision you're going to get with your LED D2 lighting. So when you go to the Adventure Moto website and check out the Denali Lights, you'll see a Isolux data chart which gives you a graph of the light spread of each light. And starting with the little DM pod, it's still going to give you 2 to 3 times a normal low beam throw of a motorcycle light. The D2 light pods, and as we go down, you can see the width and spread and throw of the D4 hybrid light pod, and then the pure absolute throw of the DX and the DR1 light pods. Now remember, the difference between the DX and the DR1 is one of these guys is a dual intensity, so it goes on and off with high and low beam, and the other one is just a straight spotlight. So we're talking of a price range between $400 and around $600 for a pair of lights. In the box you get a wiring harness, switch, basic light mount. Now you can get a bike specific light mount for many bikes, so check on our website to see if there is a light mount or light bar for your bike. Okay, these are the Denali D4s, my favourite lights. They're going to go on my 1200 GS. They're $495 a pair. They come with a wiring harness, they come with the switching gear, they come with a basic mount. I'll probably use a crash bar mount. They don't do a bike specific mount for my 1200 GS, although they do many bike specific mounts. So check on the website if there's a light bar mount or for your blah 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 blah.
I think we'll finish with that.
So we're going to talk about the various trackers and PLBs and other communication devices that we have at Adventure Moto. We usually have them at really good prices, but let's start with this little guy. This is a theft alert tracking device, and basically you just put this on your bike to basically know where it is if someone steals it. Up from the theft alert, we'll go to the spot tracker. This is everyone's favourite. The reason I choose to ride with the spot tracker is because it's a multifunctional device. It has an SOS function, much like a PLB. It has a OK button. I can send a message to my loved ones letting them know that I'm okay at any time. It has a tracking function. I can turn that on or off, and it allows me to track my rides, and also allows people to see. I can set up a link and people can check in with me and let me, just basically follow my ride. So if I'm going to hit the rescue button, I'll peel that back, hit that red button, and the cavalry will come. If I need help, but I don't need emergency help, I hit the 2 little hands and my friends will come and find me. This button here to send a simple message which I've predetermined, saying I've stopped for the night. This one here to let my friends know I'm okay. And this one is my tracking button. And with that, you can set that up so people can actually log on to your Facebook or wherever and see where you're actually going or where you've been. Let's talk about the PLB for a minute. Now, I've got 2 PLBs on the website. I've got the Rescue Me PLB, which is the world's smallest personal locator beacon. PLB does stand for Personal Locator Beacon. And I've got the KTI, which is probably the best priced PLB on the market. We sell the KTI for $275, and we sell the Rescue Me PLB for $375. They both come with a great battery life. The little Rescue Me has got a 7-year battery life. It's waterproof to 15 metres, and the KTI has a 10-year battery life. It does pay to test them on a regular interval, but just remember, don't hit the button willy-nilly, because once you've hit it, once you've activated, it's on. And 97% of people using PLBs, it's a false alarm. And so you're using up resources when you're sending out the cavalry to come and get you when you really aren't in that much trouble. So always try and use a phone or any other line of communication to get help if you need it, and this is your last resort. Also remember, if you're travelling in pairs and there's 2 or 3 guys with PLBs, just hit one of them. You don't need to send 3 messages that you need help, because that just confuses the hell out of the people coming to help you anyway. The Denali InReach is becoming more and more popular as a device to take with you to get help, communicate with people without a satellite phone. It gives you the ability to text and send your GPS coordinates around the globe update your Facebook page, send Twitters, whatever you want to do. But the main thing is it does have an SOS function, it does have a tracking function, but mainly the ability to send a message, I have a shredded rear tyre, or I need, new underpants. It's a great way to send those messages and get heard and get help if you need it without having to be rescued by the cavalry. But again, you can hit that button if you're in desperate need and the cavalry will come. The Explorer has a GPS tracking function. It allows you to use it to set waypoints, whereas this guy here, the SC, is probably the most popular model of the two, and it's basically a satellite communicator that allows you to send and receive messages in the form of texts. Being able to send messages anywhere in the world, this has got 100% global coverage, no black spots. It's a device, if you're going to travel around the world and you felt that a spot tracker was too limiting and a satellite phone was too much bother and too much cost to take, this guy here, it's a monthly tracking. You can put it on hold when you want to take a break from traveling, but the main thing is it's still connected to a worldwide rescue service and will get you out of trouble at any time. You pay a monthly subscription for this, but it does allow you to, which is about $29 a month, but it does allow you to put it on hold for about $6 a month when you're not planning to use it for any length of time. So that's a great function for guys who want to just set it aside for 2 or 3 months and then pick it up and use it. It does have an SOS capacity like the Spot, so you can hit a button, get help, cavalry will come. But main feature of this is allows you to send texts when you're out of phone range to the people that matter. Interestingly, Giant Loop, who create the tracker packer for the Spot device, have also just created a tracker packer for the Delorme InReach, which we'll have in stock very soon. And that allows you to wear the InReach or the Spot anywhere on your body. You can strap it to your arm. I often, when I'm riding, will put my Spot or Delorme connected to the back strap of my backpack. The reason I do that is if I'm riding alone in particular and I come off the bike, I don't want to be crawling to my bike, which might be 20 feet away, and I've got a broken leg to hit the button to get help. I want to be able to reach over my shoulder, hit a button, and actually help will come. So I really advise you, especially if you're riding alone, to wear your PLB or your Spot or your InReach device somewhere on your body. The other thing, if it's on the bike, it can vibrate, that can go off accidentally. You don't want that happening. So again, the safest place is to be on your person.
Yes.
Okay, guys, this is an advanced theft alert tracking for KTMs. It comes in an orange box. If you've got a KTM, you need it. If you ride a BMW or a DR650, you probably won't need this because no one wants to steal your bike.
Yay!
Guys, if you get onto our website and look at survival, you're going to see some interesting bits of equipment. The PLBs, the Delorme InReach transmitter, and the Spot trackers. That's just bullshit. Let's just do it again, shall we?
Okay, shall we? Yes, we shall.
Hang on, stop for a second.
The cost of the Delorme InReach is around the $500 mark. I think we've got it on special at $495 sometimes. It is a...
That's pretty unconvincing.
yeah.
You either have it on
Hello! Only $495 at adventuremoto.com.au.
Sometimes we take $5 off.
Sometimes
Occasionally, if you're lucky and you smile down the phone, you'll get $5 off the commercial retail price, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you will.
We're getting a bit nutty at the end of the night.
Okay,
Oh, wait.
okay,
Intoxicated.
Okay, look, let me finish. Okay, stop. Shh. Just. If you want to know how much this baby costs, go to our website, adventuremoto.com.au. No,
But
come
wait,
on.
there's more.
And you get a free set of steak knives. Batteries not included.